I never imagined I'd wake up one morning to find my dream home reduced to rubble. This wasn't just any house. This was my mansion. Years of work, sacrifice, sleepless nights, every brick, every archway, every window. I earned it. And it was gone. All because of an HOA. Let me take you back to the beginning. When I bought the property, the neighborhood was advertised as luxury living with community standards, clean streets, quiet nights, professional HOA management. Everything looked perfect on paper. The dues were reasonable, the rules seemed simple, and nothing raised any red flags. For the first 2 years, everything was smooth. I paid my dues on time, I followed the rules, no violations, no warnings, no drama. Then, life happened. A payment issue with my bank caused 2 HOA payments to bounce. Just 2. Not months, not years, weeks. No phone call, no email, no knock on the door. Instead, the HOA sent letters to the wrong mailing address. By the time I discovered the mistake, late fees had piled up, fines were added, administrative penalties, legal processing fees. Suddenly, a couple $100 had ballooned into tens of thousands. I immediately contacted the HOA. I explained everything. I offered to pay the original dues instantly. I even offered to cover reasonable penalties. They refused. What they wanted wasn't compliance. They wanted control. The HOA board claimed I had failed to maintain financial good standing and escalated the issue straight to legal enforcement without notifying me properly. And that's when they crossed the line. While I was out of town on business, the HOA approved an emergency demolition order, claiming my mansion was non-compliant and structurally unsafe due to unresolved violations. That was a lie. No inspections, no city condemnation notice, no court order, just an HOA flexing power they didn't legally have. When I returned home, the gates were locked. Heavy machinery sat on my property, and where my mansion once stood, there was nothing but broken concrete, twisted steel, and dust. They demolished my home over HOA dues. I stood there in shock, watching neighbors peek through curtains, pretending they weren't staring at a nightmare unfolding. The HOA president actually smiled. He told me, "This is what happens when homeowners don't take their responsibilities seriously." That smile didn't last long, because here's what they didn't know. I'm not just a homeowner. I'm a real estate attorney. And the land? It wasn't fully under HOA authority. Buried deep in the original property filings was a partial exemption clause, one the HOA either missed or ignored. They also violated state demolition laws, due process requirements, city zoning ordinances, trespassing statutes, and federal property rights protections. Within 48 hours, my legal team filed an emergency injunction. Within a week, the city launched a criminal investigation. Within a month, the HOA board was in full panic mode. Emails leaked, internal messages surfaced, board members blamed each other. Their insurance company immediately dropped them. Then came the lawsuit. Not for the house, for everything. Emotional distress, illegal demolition, property destruction, fraud, abuse of authority, civil rights violations. The settlement? Let's just say this. They didn't just pay to rebuild my mansion. They paid to rebuild it bigger, better, and outside their control forever. The HOA president resigned. 2 board members lost their professional licenses. The HOA was dissolved by court order. And today, where my mansion once stood destroyed, now stands a gated estate with no HOA jurisdiction whatsoever. Every time I drive past the old neighborhood, I see regret on their faces. They thought they were powerful. They forgot one thing. Power doesn't come from rules. It comes from knowing the law.